that your location is known. For people who are maybe a little bit more sensitive about that, what would you have to say? Hey everyone, welcome back to Sgcarmart. So today we're going to talk about a topic that I think has been on a lot of people's minds, and that is the new OBU. So it was rolled out in April 2024 in phases, so more and more people are now getting this new OBU in their car. There's been quite a lot of feedback and chatter online. So we want to maybe dive a little bit deeper into the design, the functionality, and perhaps most importantly, try to answer questions that you may have about this new system. So right now, we are on our way to pick up someone who hopefully will be able to answer all of your questions. We're going to talk to an LTA engineer, so let's go meet him. Alright, so we have our guest with us right now.
Hi everyone, my name is Tian Chong. I work in LTA. I've been with LTA for 10 years. I'm currently a senior principal engineer working on the ERP2 project. I've been with the project since the start.
So you're the right person for us to ask all our questions about the OBU.
I hope so.
Alright, so let's talk a little bit about this new ERP 2.0 system. Why did it come about and what was the driving factors behind the rollout?
Okay, as you know, we currently use the gantry-based ERP system.
We just went
past one. So it is aging and we need to do a tech refresh. So the new OBU uses Global Navigation Satellite System. In short, we call it GNSS. It comes in 3 pieces. First, we have the main unit, which is typically installed in the footwell. And then we have an antenna and a touchscreen display.
And when you all were designing the OBU, were there sort of big engineering hurdles that you all had to overcome?
Number one was, of course, the requirements had been met. We had a lot of requirements for environment, the temperature, in terms of what kind of communications required for OBU. So those were the challenges that we had to work on, but we did come up with an optimal design for OBU.
So you mentioned that there's a lot of heat, right? So is that really because the processing power is a lot higher? Because at least from what I've experienced, there's a lot more that you can do with the OBU now compared to the previous IU where you just only can put in your cash card to cut your cash card.
Yes, so the OBU is built with the ability to have software upgrades. You will see different services injected into the OBU. Like for example, we have a flood warning system. There are also traffic information.
I find that the one that is quite useful is the car park. The car park lots one.
Yes.
Does that tap onto the same system that we would see on the boards when we're going towards near shopping centers and stuff?
It does.
I think that's definitely a useful feature. And obviously one of the big questions that a lot of people have been talking about is why can it not just be a single piece?
Thermal was one of the challenging aspects that we had to take care of. Anything that's installed on the dashboard is subjected to very high temperatures. So we had to separate out the main unit and then the antenna and the touchscreen. So for the touchscreen display, it is also an optional option, but I highly suggest that everyone install the display to enjoy all the services and benefits. In designing OBU, we had several considerations. One of them is, of course, it has to be robust in security, right? Because you need to handle real-time transactions and also data securely. Number two was, of course, the OBU needs to be installed in various kinds of vehicles, also subjected to various environments. So this was a second consideration. We did go and consider using smartphone-based systems. However, there were a lot of constraints that we encountered. For example, the smartphone maybe have application errors, or it's not updated, yes. And then also there's no cellular connection at times. So having a standard issued OBU, right, ensured that we will have reliable and secure connection.
Okay, so the next thing that I'm very interested to talk about is, let's call it troubleshooting with the OBU, right? Because I think it's been with us again for 14-15 months, and I think people have ran into some issues here and there, right? So maybe we get your take on how to deal with these issues. And the first issue is probably the IU not being detected by the gantry. So what should people do in those situations?
This is not, just to clarify, it's not unique to OBU. It happens to IU also.
Yes, I agree.
The advice for drivers is actually to slow down when you approach the gantry. So if nothing happens, you can reposition your vehicle. But if nothing happens to you, you can press the intercom and get help.
Now, the second scenario to ask about is for those old car parks that cannot detect the OBU or cannot even detect an IU system. So in that situation, what should a driver have to do?
The only way to exit the car park is really to roll down your window and tap on the terminal station.
The old-fashioned way.
It's really good to have two cards with you at all times. The next motoring card is given out free to the motorists.
Ah, I see. Yeah. I understand that we can also use the OBU without a physical card at all, right?
Yes. You can use a back-end payment.
So I guess the good thing with that is that if you only have that one card, you can just use your digital card and then use that as your spare.
Yes, put it somewhere nearby where you can reach it.
So let's say a driver realizes that there's some defect or some damage to their OBU. What should they do?
Just to clarify, the OBU comes with a fire warranty, right? If they see any issues, they should bring it back to the authorized workshop to have it checked and rectified.
And with the warranty, it's just a straight one-to-one replacement?
Yes, so if it's under warranty, it will be a free of charge replacement. For example, you have RFID tag damage, or maybe there's some software bug issues. This is what the workshop can check and then help you rectify. Also, another example is that if, for example, you have observed that the top left-hand corner of the display, the logo is missing.
The logo is missing?
Yes. The balance and the logo is missing, right?
Logo.
Yeah, that also indicates a problem. So you should bring it back to the workshop to have it checked.
Is there, it's a weird thing to ask maybe, but is there like a servicing schedule, or is that, you know, as and when should people sort of get the software upgraded, get it checked? Is that necessary?
No, not necessary. Software is upgraded over the air. Motorists should make an appointment in advance with the workshop before going back. And then if they have further queries, they can always contact the LK hotline for more help. I would advise motorists not to do the fixing themselves. If they attempt to do anything by themselves, it may void the warranty.
Okay, so the next scenario I do want to ask about, just now you mentioned some of the new functionality and features, right? But I think I've heard some drivers say, hey, the screen is frozen, I cannot access the features. So what would you respond to people who have this issue? Actually,
that is a safety feature on OBU. So while you're driving, you're not supposed to be touching the screen. So it will not function.
So only when it's stationary?
Only when it's stationary. Then you can use touchscreen. So there are also times when the touchscreen will be frozen, right, due to poor data connection. But once the connection is back, you should be able to continue using the touchscreen. There are also situations where it does not recover. You can always restart your vehicle. So it's like your computer, you turn it off and you turn it on again. It's like any digital device, I suppose. I have to do that on my phone. A lot more than I would like to, but I understand that it happens. So I think there's some, let's say, concerns or questions about our data privacy, because like you mentioned, this is a GNSS system. GNSS system,
right? Yes. So for people who are maybe a little bit more sensitive about that, what would you have to say?
OBU is designed with a high level of security and encryption. This is really to ensure the confidentiality and integrity of the data. There are also safeguards built into the collection, storage, and also how we use the data. Right? LTA uses the data in anonymized and aggregated basis. This is to use it for transport policy, planning, and also transportation operations and management. And all this, we do not identify individual vehicles, right? Unless it's for enforcement purposes, where the driver did not pay his ERP charges. Yes.
All right, Tian Chong, thank you so much for talking to us. I think it was a very illuminating conversation.
My pleasure.
Hopefully we've managed to answer as many of your questions as possible, but if they still have more questions, how can they get in touch with LTA?
You all can reach out to our LTA hotline or email us, and we'll promptly reply you.
And any concluding last thoughts about this OBU system and anything you want to highlight to everyone?
Yeah, so reminders to all drivers, if you have not installed your OBU, please quickly make an appointment to have it installed.
Alright, so we hope you've enjoyed today's video. Thank you, Tian Chong, for talking to us.
My pleasure.
Do remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel, and you can also hit the notification bell to be alerted of all our upcoming videos. And if you still have more questions, let us know in the comment section below. Also, you can find us on TikTok at Sgcarmart. So that's all we have to you. We'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye!